We made it to Rocky Mountain National Park. Welcome to another episode of Food for Thought. Today we are at the Rocky Mountain National Park. So let's go on a walk with us.
Okay. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about these kind of arbitrary slogans on how to eat that people are beginning to say that they're doing, like clean eating or pure eating or eating from the earth or natural eating, whatever it might be. And I thought it would be helpful to kind of talk about like where these are coming from, what they mean, a little bit more, kind of interpret them maybe. So how do you know these trends? Obviously, people are kind of maybe through TikTok or different social media outlets. Obviously, as dietitians, we see them a lot in our practice. People call us and request, like, can you help me get on a raw diet or a raw vegan diet or eat more pure or whatever it might be. But you also see it in the grocery store, I think, is another big place. Oops.
I mean, so many videos that I've seen of like influencers dissecting labels at the store and demonizing everything that is not a plain word, you know, as if that equals something bad or something evil.
Also, the packaging of foods, like lately, you'll go to the store and everything's in brown packaging. This reminds me of the forest for some reason, like it's all natural.
Yeah, and I think it's important to emphasize that just because something is natural, it doesn't mean that it's healthy.
Yeah.
If you think about it, rattlesnake venom is all natural, all naturally derived, you know, and it's still very deadly. There is a lady on Instagram that I really enjoy her videos where she goes in the woods and finds berries, and she always has things that are edible and things that are poisonous, you know, and kind of shows how similar they can be, which comes to show that even something that you getting straight organic, no pesticide from nature can actually kill you.
These is poison and one is a snack. Which one are you choosing, A or B, this or that? We're gonna learn about them together, and that is a fact. Oh yeah, cause one is poison and one is a snack. Ooh.
And we wanted to kind of dispel some of that and just, you know, not go into great depth of it, but just really emphasize that, you know, how do we help you not get caught up in some of these terminology and trends that we are seeing? I think that some of the stuff that they're emphasizing has some truth to it. And so we thought we would talk a little bit more about finding that balance. What I think we have a problem with it as dietitians is that people get extreme with it. So, for example, you know, I work in a facility where people become very, very malnourished from following very extreme, rigid rules. So one individual was eating only fruits and vegetables and got very, very ill, right? You know, it's only natural, it's from the earth, those various things. And that can cause a lot of issues and concerns with, you know, vitamin and mineral deficiency, protein, calorie malnutrition, those various things. So how do we take some of the information, such as, you know, we need to increase our fruits and vegetables. We definitely need to eat more fiber, but not from the tree trunks of these trees, but from truly, you know, fruits and vegetables and whole grains maybe.
I think that the way that I like to approach it is focusing on the things that we can incorporate versus the things that we need to take away from our diet.
Yep.
You know, because I find that is a lot easier of a way towards balance versus scrutinizing everything that you're eating and trying to figure out everything that you need to take out. You know, I feel like people approach what they eat on a daily basis almost the same way that someone with a deadly allergy would.
Exactly.
You know, the dissecting food labels and concerns about cross-contamination and all of those things, you know, that really don't make sense for the general population.
And that extreme eating, that's the stuff that happens where it becomes very unbalanced, right? Where you get very black and white with it, and that can cause a lot of issues. So
yeah, because there are some nutrients that you mostly can only get from fruits and vegetables. There are some nutrients that you mostly can only get from animal products. You know, that's why a place, you know, for everything needs to exist. You know, vitamin B12 is one that is mostly on animal products, but a lot of the vitamins and minerals are in fruits and vegetables, you know?
And fiber. I can't tell me how many people come up, they're like, I've been following the Atkins diet or high protein diet. I'm really constipated. I'm like, really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
So for example, you know, you could easily, if you're trying to try to incorporate more fruits and vegetables, if you incorporate them at your snack times, then you're more than likely not going to be grazing as much, maybe.
And we can't deny that there is pleasure, there is a social component that comes with a lot of the convenience foods, and we live in a society that demands productivity and a fast-paced life. So I don't want to disregard any of those things as we talk about this. That's why I like the idea of adding. And things like fruit, for example, wouldn't require a lot of preparation. And one thing that I find frustrating about the trends too is that they are very elitist and shame driven.
Yep.
Only a certain number of people will be able to eat only home cooked meals and only organic stuff.
That's I mean, you'll have clients, I'll have clients that spend half their financial budget on groceries at Whole Foods, for example.
We saw some sad news this week that a young woman passed away because she was strictly on a fruit-only diet for quite some time, and unfortunately died of malnutrition. You can't get everything that you need on your diet from fruits and vegetables the same way that you can't get everything that you need from meats only.
Which is I think another trend, the raw foods or something like that can be very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
So.
And we're almost to our destination. Can't wait to share it with you guys.
We made it to our destination, Alberta Falls. So the whole point of the video was to talk about balance. That it's important that we enjoy nature and natural things, but we need to know how to enjoy them so we are not putting ourselves in danger.
Yes. So if you get further back, we'll fall over and that's not good.
Yeah. We're almost too close. Bye.
Bye.